Hey y'all, it's Bryce back here with Improv Knits. We're going to do 2 pairs of socks cast on at the same time. Yeah. So we've got our 3mm needles, or 3.25mm US 3. We've got a 50-inch cable, which is like 125 centimeters. It's pretty long. If you remember, last video, I said something about matching up your variegated yarn. Well, I figured we'd do that this time. That yarn there, however, is being a pain in my tuchus, because one strand, the variegation in it is shorter. So I can match it up, but then the color changes too soon. It's a pain in the butt. Anyway, we're going to do this. We put them together. Get back here. The same we did for the single cast on and the 2 at a time. So we hold on to them exactly the same. Okay? We're going to take one of these little balls, and we're going to go in between the pink and the white. Okay? So let me get it turned around here the right way. So we're going to go loop it over this way. Bring it over, and we're going to go 10 just the same as last time. Okay? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Now we're going to move this one out of the way. And we're going to do the exact same thing right here. Up and over, right in between the pink and the white. So right there. We're going to cross it the same as we did before. Okay. See how we got that X right there? See? We got that X right there in that one. We're going to come up and hit that one. So we get that last one. Okay. And then we're going to go and cast on. So that one there. And this one here, and that one there, and that one there. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whoop, 7, 8, 9, 10. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Haha, yar. And then we're going to put these over to the side. Okay, because we got those 2 cast on. Now we're going to cast on the wonky yarn. And I call it wonky because it doesn't actually match up. If you look at it, it looks like I have one, because they're pretty even here. But then this one here comes way down here. So I have at least a centimeter play on one yarn that I don't have on the other. Okay, you see that right here where the colors don't exactly match? Sometimes that happens. So we're going to start our sock way down here, and sometimes you have to pull out a lot to get it to match up. A lot. So we're going to start down here with the light pink into the dark pink. Okay, we're going to start the same way we did with the other ones. Okay, hold that down so I can get these separated. Which ball goes where? That's the only thing with this. Keeping your yarn separate. Okay, there we are there. So, I'm going to go right here. Bring this one over here. I'm going to put it right here, just like the other ones. Okay? You see how it goes into dark pink and light pink? We're going to put it right in between. We're going to cross it like we did before. We're going to cross it like we did before. And we're going to lock it in. And then we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So we're going to flop that tail over there and push it all down. Okay? Now see, we got a problem here. Because the needle's flipped over on us. So we have to do this entire one over again. So Kimmy just... Okay, easy fix. See? Right there. Got it all fixed. Now let's do this other one. Same as before. Oh, Big's getting into stuff. We're going to have problems. Same as before. Right in between light pink and the dark pink. Pull the light pink back towards us. Dark pink up there. Same thing as before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Quit playing in my bathroom. And launch that one up there. Okay. See? Now we've got all of them up here. Okay? Now we're going to turn our work all the way around. And like I said, this way it's really, really hard to keep your yarn straight where it needs to be and where it goes and where it comes from and everything else. But it is worth it in the end.
Mom, they've got the remote. He's got the remote.
Excuse me just a minute. Sorry about that. It's what happens when babies have too much time on their little hands. Okay, so just like before, flip the tail over there after we wrap it around our working yarn. Pull out the bottom yarn the bottom needle, because that's the one we're going to be working with. And then we knit across. Right the way across. After the cast on and the tightening up and the first row, everything is pretty much the same. The only difference is instead of doing your movements once or twice, you will do them multiple times all the way across the board.
We have...
Shh! These guys are trying my patience today. So there's one. See, there's one. There's the tail. We'll flop that over there. here's 2 and a tail for 2. So we're going to reach around and grab this tail, pull it through, loop it around where it needs to be for our second sock. So for sock, we'll call this one B. We've got it over there. Pull our cast on our working yarn a little tight. Pull it snug anyway, not tight. And then we will knit on across. Okay? This is not hard. It's just a little tedious and a little time consuming. Because it does take time to get all of the cast-ons locked in with that first row. Okay? So there we are with our first 2. So we're going to move this one and this one over here with the tails. And then we're going to move our blues up. Okay? So we got to go figure out which ball we've got as our first one. And there it is. So you can see here, we start to get a little wonky. Okay? So our working yarn is this back here. Okay? So we're going to take our tail, loop it around our working yarn, just like before. Okay? That's the only thing with this is C and D, or socks 2 and socks 3 and 4, tend to get a little wonky at the cast on. Okay? But once you get started, they're not that bad. See? It's just keeping it all together until you get it started. And then after this next row, I'll show you how to tighten them all up, because it's kind of a mess to get them all tight. Because there's limited space on your needle and needles, and they've got to all go on the needles. It would probably be smarter in that case to use a longer needle, but I have tiny little hands, and 5-inch needles about tear me up. Okay, so see, working yarn. Okay, and our yarn tail. I'm gonna take our yarn tail and wrap it around and hold it. Okay, we're gonna knit into the first one. And just knit across. Okay. Getting ready to turn the whole thing. Turn this whole mess around. Okay? So, we're going to pull until that needle comes back up. Okay? Whoop. Whoa. I got stuck on the edge of the table, folks. So, we're going to go through here. And we're going to knit right on across. Shh. right there. And just like before, we're going to knit right on across.
Hey!
Kids, they've been about as good as they can handle today.
No, do not have Scooby get me. Leo, can you get out of here? Hey, but this is my room. Sorry, but I need to play without you. Mommy, Sissy told me
See?
to get out. Sissy said
They've
my
been about as
bedroom
good as they
is-
can handle today.
Sissy said my bedroom is closed. She said.
So yeah. It's just fiddly the first bit. And then after that, it's just like doing 2 at a time or a single sock. Yep. So there's one. And because it's out so much, when we go to put it on the needle, we'll have to scrunch it up a little bit so it all fits. Ugh, come here, you. You go back over there. We don't need you right now. Okay. Then we got this one. See? It's essentially the exact same thing as you do with the 1 at a time and the 2 at a time. You just have way more to go across. So don't let anybody tell you that the most you can do is 2 at a time. If you can figure out how to do it, you can pretty much do anything. Trust me on this, because the next tutorial is how to pick up and knit 2 sleeves at a time in a top-down sweater. Yes, I have second sleeve syndrome too. So, yeah, it's fun to do stuff for the kids. Trust me, I've even tried multiple sweaters at a time. That was fun. Not really, but I can get through the yoke, and then I have to take them off and make them separate. So being able to do the sleeves 2 at a time makes it a whole lot easier when it comes to my kids or anyone else I'm knitting sweaters for. So, yeah. Let's get these through these 2, and I'll show you how to tighten these up. Okay? It's just like before. We've got to scrunch it all up onto both needles. And we've got to make sure that we're pulling on the right spot. Because otherwise we're pulling on our working yarn, and that's not real helpful. And this is the part that until we get everything tightened up, if you look up over here, there's this knot of stuff right here. Once we get these done, we'll be able to clip that off And our yarn tails will not be a problem anymore because they can be clipped to 2 or 3 inches and they're not getting wound around each other anymore. And they're short enough that we won't accidentally knit them into our sock, which I have also done before, and I cried. Oh yeah, I bawled. Because I had 2 rows that I had done that accidentally. And that was not fun. I ended up having to rip the sock apart and start all over. I was so upset. Oh, I was mad. So, there we are with the last stitch on the last sock. So, we're going to pull all this up. We're going to pull the needle through up onto all this. Okay? And then we're going to put all of these bad boys on the needles as soon as I tighten up my needles. Because, yeah, because. So, alright, let's get all these bad boys up on here. Oh, going to have to pull that one out in a minute. Dun, 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 dun. Uh-oh, my toes are asleep. That's never a good thing. Teach me to sit on my knees on the dining room chairs. See? So you got it all up on the top. Now you gotta get all the bottom one down. Shoved back down in there. This is difficult because every time I do this, I'm scared that I'm going to lose it off of this one, off of this needle. And there's nothing to hold it on there. But I got to walk it up this one. Quit. So I gotta pull that one back down a little bit because I'm afraid I'm gonna pull it all off. Trying to scoot these bad boys back up here. Oh, I've almost got it too. Just right down here at the very bottom. There we go. There we go. Now you see, we've got, whoa, too much, too much, too much. All 4 back up on the needles, or at least kind of on the needles. Okay? So we're going to take all 4, hold them like before, and find our yarn tails. Well, there's one. So I'm going to pull this one, and then we're going to launch it off to the side. Because we've got that one. Okay, now we're going to find this one. There we go. There it is. We're going to hold on to it. We're going to pull. And then we're going to launch it up. Whoa. Where the hell did my yarn tail go? There it is. We're going to pull on the yarn tail. I'm going to launch it off to the side. Okay. Then find these 2. Now we're going to pull them and tighten them down. There's one. There's the other. And see, it looks like we're about to lose it here on the end, right? But we're not. Okay? Because we still have yarn tail over here. And this would be where we clip it off. Here in just a minute. So that is casting on 1, 2, 3, 4 socks at a time. You have to have a lot of patience to do this, because it will drive you nuts until you cut off the giant yarn tails that you end up with. I have a bag that just fits 6 balls like this size. Oh, it's fine. Because even that way, they still get all wonky and messed up. So, from here, you start your increases like you normally would. Uh-oh, we're all wonky now. Gee, how'd that happen? Wasn't tossing her ball around or nothing, was I? Let's get this bad boy back out here. Okay, there we go. So just like before, pull out the bottom needle, stick it through, knit one, knit front back, knit to 2 before the end, knit front back, and knit one, and keep going the exact same way that you would if it was 2 or 1 or however big your needles are. Anyway, this is how I do multiple pairs of socks at a time. It is not for the faint of heart. It will drive you crazy. You have to watch how big your tails are or clip them off very soon after your cast on row. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. If you like what you see, give this video a like and subscribe. Thanks again. Bye, folks.